Today, I'm very excited to be joined by our co-host, Deborah Reynolds, who is the founder and president of About Face Image Consulting. Deborah has a set of very interesting questions for our guest. Welcome, Deborah.
Always great to be back. I'm excited. We have an amazing guest today. Her content and material is going to be awesome.
Oh, yes, we are very excited to be joined by Julia Blake, who is a business growth expert. Welcome, Julia.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
We can't wait to learn more about growing our business, which everyone here wants to get better at. Before I hand over to Deborah, I want to introduce our guest with a few snippets. Julia is the award winning founder of the International Business Blake Consultants, which she started in 2010. She accelerates business growth for frustrated service based business owners who know they have the potential to maximize more sales opportunities and retain more clients. Julia does this by developing clear and effective systems and processes which support rapid growth. More revenue is generated, costs are reduced, ultimately leading to an increase in net profit and a happier business owner. By working with her, you make the most out of your three important assets: your contacts and data, your processes and systems, sales, marketing, and client inventory, and you. This is going to be a most interesting session. Deborah, take it away.
Thank you, Moreno. Julia, really excited to have you here today because your experience, you have a really unique perspective. And let's get right into our first question. So, the business owner is creative, a free spirit, essentially. Why would they want their creativity to be strangled by processes?
Yeah, it's a fascinating one, this, isn't it? It's something I often come across. We have all got to be creative as business owners. We wouldn't have been able to navigate the last 2 years if we hadn't have been creative. But when you're running a business that offers a creative service, graphic design, things like that, then sometimes you actually fear that having processes will strangle that creativity. Because we actually need to flip that completely around and we need to say, actually, what really does stifle and strangle creativity? And that is actually more often than not, stress. And stress comes about by being disorganized in our businesses. When we're disorganized, we have clients chasing us, people chasing us for invoices, associates chasing us, everybody's chasing us, interrupting us. And when you're in that place, it's really, really hard to be creative. So if you have processes in place that mean that you are organized and streamlined, then that gives you as a business owner a place of calm. And when you're in a place of calm, then the creativity flourishes. So being disorganized can strangle creativity, and having a process can help you be more organized and reduce the stress. And the second thing that people find strangles creativity is lack of time. And when you have processes in place, then actually you make more of the time that you've got because you don't reinvent the wheel every single time. So you have more time and you're also more productive with that time. So you can carve out time as a business owner to do the running of the business stuff as well as the creativity stuff. And you can compartmentalize and you can look at your week and you can say, I'm more creative in the mornings than in the afternoon. So I want to do business development or the back office stuff in the afternoon and I'll do the creative stuff in the morning. So by having processes in place supporting us to be more organized, then we can actually get more time back. We can carve out more time and we can be more productive with that time. So I think, and this is something I often chat to my clients about, that by having processes and systems in place, we're actually enabling us to flourish with our creativity rather than strangle the creativity.
That makes complete sense. And I can really relate to that. So let's get into our second question. What's a Rubik's Cube got to do with growing a business?
This is brilliant. I love this. I loved the Rubik's Cube as a girl, and I could actually do it in like less than 2.4 minutes or something. We all had a great competition to try and do it, and I can't do it anymore. But I often use a Rubik's Cube to explain how a CRM, which is something that I often do for my clients, I often design and build a CRM, how a CRM can help a business. Because when we start out running our businesses, we often use spreadsheets. And so I love spreadsheets. I'm one of those rare people that absolutely love spreadsheets, but they're fairly two-dimensional. And you can end up with numerous spreadsheets with numerous bits of data. You might have a spreadsheet for prospects, a spreadsheet for your clients, for previous clients, for events. Before you know it, it's unwieldy and you can't find things and you can't gather all the information. You can't interrogate the information. When you lift that data off of a two-dimensional spreadsheet and turn it into a CRM, then it's like a Rubik's Cube. You can dice and slice it. You can get a green side or a red side or a yellow side, or you can get a mixture because you are able to dice and slice that data into what you want it to be in. So the green side, but it makes it three-dimensional. And that way you can actually segment your data and you can actually communicate with the right people at the right time in the right way because you've been able to actually get really good information off of your system. So a Rubik's Cube is a brilliant way of explaining to people how we can turn a two-dimensional spreadsheet into a three-dimensional Rubik's Cube that we can twist and turn and dice and slice, and that really helps us grow our business.
That's fascinating. I mean, it's such a great visual and an analogy for business growth and actually leveraging the data for our advantage. So let's get into our third question. Business owners want more clients. So, how do they do that, Julia?
It's fascinating, this one. Of course, we all say we want more clients, but deep breath, do we? Is it actually that we want more clients, or do we actually want more revenue? Because there's a difference, isn't there? Think about the question behind the question. If it really is about increasing revenue rather than having more clients, then there's a different answer to that. It's really important to maximize the lifetime value of our clients. So look at your existing client base. Can you upsell or cross-sell? Do you have a product staircase? Can you lead and encourage that client from one product on to the next? Because that client already loves you, hopefully, and therefore it's much easier to sell something else to them. And when I say sell, it's one of those words, I interchange it with adding value, solving a pain. As a small business owner, then we're not, it's arguable that we're selling, because actually what we're doing is we are offering a solution to the pain that they have. And for anybody that's slightly nervous about selling, if you think of it in that way, you are solving their pain, then that makes it much more approachable and sort of acceptable almost, because sales can be quite frightening for some people. But we are solving a pain that our clients have. So a client that we have may have a number of different smaller pains that we can solve by moving them on to a different product on our product staircase. But if the question really is about getting more clients, then it's really, really important to know who your ideal client is and to create an ideal client avatar. And what I mean by that is actually really, really know who your ideal client is. Really understand what keeps them awake at night. Because when you do understand that, then you are able to offer a solution to that pain. And when you offer a solution to that pain and you speak about that solution in your marketing, your communication, whether it's email marketing or on social media, when you actually address that pain, then you will resonate with that ideal client. And they would have been previously unknown to you, possibly on social media, but they will see your messaging and they will gravitate towards you, and they will see you as somebody that gets their pain, and they will want to make contact with you, and they will want to come to you, they will be brought to you, because there's so much noise on social media. And so many of us are tempted to have a scattergun approach to marketing. And actually, what's really important is to not have a scattergun, but really be clear on the solution that you're offering to the pain that your ideal clients and your potential client has, because that way you will cut through the noise, and they will find you and they will come to you. And that is one really surefire way of actually increasing the number of clients that you have, of attracting more clients to you, demonstrating constantly that you understand their pain and be seen to be understanding that, and to all the time be authentic, of course, in demonstrating that. So important to be authentic, because people can see through people that aren't authentic. So add value, be consistent, and be authentic, and that way you will be seen and people will come to you. And that's on top of course, making the most of the clients that you already have.
Beautifully said. Such great information. And really, what I loved what you said there was think about the question behind the question, which is all about, do you really want to generate more clients or do you want to generate more revenue? And then how do you actually go about doing that by really offering superb value to your clients,
Yeah.
addressing their pain and offering the solution?
Yeah.
Beautifully said.
Thank
Beautifully.
you. Thank you. And the other way, of course, is actually by teaming up with partners. A lot of my clients come from referrals, and also when your existing clients have a really good experience with you, then they will be talking about you as well to people that they know. And so this type of personal introduction is very, very important. It doesn't just stop when that client has signed up. It goes all the way through, and that's where processes and systems can actually really, really help, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. You take a step back, you think about what gives consistently great service each and every time you work with somebody, and then they get a great experience, and then they talk about you, and then other people hear them talking about you. So that's another way of attracting clients to you.
So true. So true. So let's get into our fourth question. Business could be like a roller coaster and it could be really exhausting. So, how can business owners avoid the peaks and the troughs of running their own business?
Yeah, it's such an important area, this, because the peaks and the troughs, the roller coasters, they are completely exhausting. And I fell foul of this early on in when I started my business 12 years ago. I had some lovely clients, and the projects came to a natural completion, and then I found I didn't have any clients. So I ramped up my business development, and then I got some clients, and then I was busy delivering. I let the business development slip. The clients came to a natural completion, and I had no clients. And I realized that it was just so painful. And how on earth can I be delivering and developing my business at the same time? And that's when I started working with Capsule CRM, actually, because when you have a good CRM bubbling along, supporting you, then you can actually be developing your business at the same time as you're delivering, especially when you couple a CRM with an email marketing system such as Mailchimp, and also when you integrate it with an accountancy package such as Xero, because all of these things are all bubbling along in the background whilst you're delivering to your clients. And there are some really great systems out there these days. They're all available to us, aren't they, at low cost. It's just about choosing the right one, because some of us are just attracted to the next sparkly thing, and of course, and that is just dangerous because you just take on more and more systems. So think of a CRM, an email marketing system, and an account system, and that will give the business the foundations to continue with the business development even when they are delivering that great service to their clients. And it's not just about when you're delivering, but of course the holidays are coming up. So when you're off on holiday, then these systems can be supporting you and carrying on even when you're not actually physically doing anything with your business. So when these systems are set up properly, it's like having a clone of your best self They are taking care of things for you, and they're reminding you to do things as well. So that is how we can actually reduce the peaks and up the troughs so that it's not such an exhausting ride. And having that consistent energy is better for the business owner, and it's also much better for the business. It's much easier to grow from that position.
Wow. And having all those pieces of software talk to each other are really important. So that leads us into, of course, our last question, Julia. Why would business owners spend time that they don't have to get more software into their business? In any ways, aren't CRMs expensive and for larger organizations?
Yeah, brilliant. The it's that thing, isn't it? It's I don't have time. I don't have time to bring more software in. It's just going to be an overhead and cause more stress. I don't have time, and I often see this. I often see it. So many of my potential clients and clients come to me in such a place of pain, and I just really feel for them. It's horrible. And then what happens is that but that pain becomes normalized, and it's really strange. And then just one thing will come along and tip that business owner into fear of overwhelm or actual overwhelm. And at that point, they reach out and they go, "No, I can't do it anymore. I need something to help me." Now, often in an ideal world, then we would be implementing systems before getting to that pain point. But as a business owner, especially if you don't have anybody working for you, or if you have a small team, then you're wearing all the functional hats, aren't you? You're sales director, you're marketing director, you're operations director. So it's actually really hard to take that step back. But it is important to take that step back. It's really important to take that deep breath. And I often say to my clients, potential clients, it's a bit like a glass ceiling. You can go on for so long, but you're going to struggle to grow your business past that point if you don't have some systems and processes supporting you, because we can't all do everything ourselves. It is good to have support. So most business owners want to grow, and there's lots of systems out there that will help you grow. It's about choosing the right one, and that's where I help my clients choose the right one. And if what I offer, then if that doesn't work for that client, then I often are able to refer somebody else who would be able to help. But when you have a system, it's supporting the processes that you've taken time out to think about. So when you are in that place of overwhelm, it's actually really important to take time out and be really quite strict with yourself and say, this will benefit me in the short and medium term. I take time out, I'm going to get a clean sheet of paper, I'm going to write down that process. I'm not going to have the emotion of the actual situation clouding that process. I'm going to take a step back, take yourself out into nature, get fresh air, but a clean sheet of paper, don't get bogged down by anything else, map out that process. And then a good system will enable you to build that process into the system, and then that system will prompt you to do the next thing. And of course, we can't remember a trillion things. We can only actually remember about 7 things in our head at any one time. And I know that when I'm packing for holiday, I might have 7 things in my head, but then if one of my boys comes along and asks me something, then the remaining 6 just go completely out of my head, and I'm just really fearful that one day I'm going to forget the passports or whatever. But we don't beat yourself up. It's a known fact that we as humans can't remember everything. So if you have a system in place that's prompting you to do the next thing, then it's like having a clone of your best self. You actually almost get another team member. And we all have bad days, let's face it, we all have bad days. But when you have a system that's reminding you to do the next thing in your process, then actually a bad day is never an unproductive day, because as business owners, we don't want unproductive days, do we? We want to be productive. So also, when you get to the point where actually you want to take on perhaps a first member of a team, or maybe third or fourth, or maybe even 10th or 11th, if you have those processes mapped out and in a system, then the onboarding of that new team member will be far less onerous for you and much more of a pleasant experience for that employee as well. So there's various different reasons that a business owner to take a step back, but it's really to make more of their own time in a calmer way, but also when thinking about taking somebody else on, to make sure that that person is doing the work in the way that you want it done, and they're clear also how to do that work, because that makes everybody happier. Because people, humans, are actually 30% more productive if they're happier, which is just fascinating. I saw a TED talk on it, and I love the one that I often share. It's just fascinating. Over 30% more productive if we're happy, which is why, as a business owner, it's so important to be happy and be passionate about what we do, have purpose and vision, etc. And then the second part of your question was about the expense of a CRM. Is that something that only big organizations have? That used to be the case. Definitely used to be the case, but it's brilliant because it's not the case anymore. And CRM traditionally was client relationship management, but I call it contact relationship management. And when you think of it as contacts, you think of, okay, well, that opens up massively. I can put my suppliers on there. I can put my associates on there. I can put referral partners on there, as well as prospects, potential clients, previous clients, even friends and family can go on to your CRM. And it's just brilliant because everything is in one place. And they're not expensive anymore. So Capsule CRM, the one that I particularly favour, is only £12 per month per user, and you can start and stop it. You're not tied in. So, and if you're not reaping benefits and efficiencies for £12 per month, then something horribly wrong has happened. But they are really affordable and they add huge amounts of value. So for that small investment, you actually get a data bank where all of your contacts are. You get pipeline functionality, so you can manage your pipeline. When you manage your pipeline, then you have a better chance of converting each of the opportunities into an actual sale, so you're reducing your costs. And then you can also manage what you deliver. In the CRM that I like, Capsule, you can also manage what you deliver to your clients. And by doing that, by having that all in one place, you're reducing the cost of sale, you're reducing the cost of delivery, and you're increasing revenue because you're talking to the right people at the right time, which is where the Rubik's Cube came in, which means overall you've got an increase in net profit. You're growing your business. But on top of that, you're also much happier. You're avoiding being in that state of overwhelm. You're much happier. And as we've already said, a happy person is actually way more productive than somebody that's stressed and unhappy. And going back to the first question, way more creative as well.
I love what you were sharing about the happiness part of it. Really being able to focus on that emotion first and then switching into increasing your productivity. And how do you define CRM, like the content or contact relationship management? Really is fascinating. So Julia, how would people connect with you and learn more about putting all these systems into place?
Yep. I have a YouTube video if people would just like to explore Capsule without investing in me working with them. Then I have a YouTube video, videos which I can share. And but please, just any business owner, just reach out to me. I'm always happy to have a chat. My email address is julia.blake@blakeconsultants.co.uk, and I do have international clients, so I have clients all over the world. But I just really enjoy connecting with business owners, finding ways to help them, and often that conversation goes on to me designing and building a CRM and then supporting them, because it's just great to have a human supporting the business owner, rather than trying to work it all out for yourself and often getting frustrated. So I take the business owner's requirements, translate them, and then together we work together to build a great system that helps them grow their business.
Julia, that was 30 minutes of abundant value from you. There is a question from one of your clients, Emma Rundle. And she says that she's never looked back since you helped her with the CRM. She has a question, however, and it goes like this. This is Emma from North Hampshire, that she's a client of yours. And there's so much more that she can do with her CRM. And her specific question is this: how can a CRM help her manage her pipeline? Can you perhaps add more to what you've already said?
Yes, brilliant question. Thanks, Emma, for that question. The pipeline functionality in Capsule is one of my favorite areas. So many business owners are managing a pipeline just in their heads or on a scrap of paper. It's one of the things that often business owners don't think they're big enough to have an actual pipeline, but everybody is big enough to have a pipeline. It doesn't matter how big or small you are. So in Capsule, we have two views. We have the sales director view of the pipeline, and that gives the overarching figures that are coming into our business. So we might find that if everything in our pipeline converts, then we might be able to have X amount of money coming in. But of course, there are different stages in the pipeline. The initial inquiry might have a very small probability of actually converting into a piece of work. And the pipeline functionality in Capsule takes all of that into account. So it's brilliant. You can see where you are now, and then if everything converts, where you could be. But not only is there that sales director view, you also get like the salesperson view. So you can actually manage each individual opportunity, each individual conversation that you're having with a potential client, and you can have a pre-sales process. So you've taken a step back, you've got your clean sheet of paper, you've worked out the best sales process for your clients and for yourself, and you then get prompted by Capsule to move on to the next activity. So you're reminded to follow up on a proposal, you're reminded to send this or send that, because when you trust that the system is going to remind you, then you can step away and get on to something else. So you're able to be more productive with the time that you've got.
I want to acknowledge Tori Wagg's comment. She's from Oxfordshire and runs an accounting firm. And she says, wow, so much value, Julia. She's scribbling away notes on happiness and creativity.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tori.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your uniqueness and knowledge, Julia. We at the end of about 30 minutes. We appreciate you taking the time to join us. Final word from you?
Yes, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me. And I know it's terribly early for you guys in Vancouver, so I really appreciate you being here. It's been fun. Thank you so much.
It's been incredibly rich content, Julia. Thank you very much.
Yes. Deborah, thank you so much for co-hosting You Now Online Live, where we give business owners an opportunity to easily and quickly increase their visibility, exposure, and influence. Deborah, a final word from you?
You know what? We've always looking for the most amazing guests. And when people can share, like Julia Blake, valuable content that we can immediately put into place, that is absolutely gold. So thank you, Moreno, and thank you, Julia.
Yes, to our attendees, a big thank you. Now it is your opportunity to be next on You Now Online Live. It is easier than you think. Direct message Deborah or myself on LinkedIn. In the meantime, to your continued success and good health, goodbye until we meet again next time.